If you're someone that's been concerned about Amazon's low inventory level fee ever since they came out with it in the fourth quarter of 2023, then I have big news for you, and specifically two big pieces of information. Now, ever since this fee came out and Amazon announced that this was going to be something that applied on April 15th of 2024 and later, the seller world for Amazon sellers has kind of been in an uproar of fear and worrying that this is going to kill the arbitrage model, potentially even some wholesale accounts and some private label sellers, because they're going to be hit with all of these fees from Amazon. But the reality is that Amazon has consistently been showing that they are giving us more detailed information on what the actual rules and requirements are going to be for this fee. And they also lowered on all of the ASINs, all of the products in their catalog, they lowered the fulfillment fees for every single one. So even if you got hit with a low inventory level fee, you'd be kind of in a better off place because you had a lower fulfillment fee on all of your other products that weren't hit with this. And you'd actually have a lower fulfillment fee on this product too. You'd just be getting hit with an additional fee on top of it for having low inventory. What this means is that Amazon has now started to give us more information for how this will be applied. Whenever I first saw this fee come out, I made two breakdown videos on YouTube, just doing a full breakdown of everything that their policy said and trying to decipher what they meant by it and go through all their math formulas, etc. And what I thought at first was that this was going to be on the entire ASIN, that Amazon was just going to apply this inventory level requirement for every single ASIN across the board. However, in the second video, I realized that it's probably going to be more seller specific, but it still wasn't very clear. And so by seller specific, that just means that Amazon would be charging a fee only based on the seller's data. Well, luckily, Amazon has answered that for us in their policy, and I'm going to go through it in just a minute. As you can see here, this is the low inventory level fee page, which is linked below in the description. Here is the basic overview. A low inventory level fee will only apply if a product's inventory level relative to historical demand, known as historical days of supply, is below 28 days. Now, they're actually only going to charge a low inventory level fee when both the long-term historical days of supply for the last 90 days and the short-term historical days of supply, the last 30 days, are below 28 days, so 4 weeks. So for example, if a product's short-term historical days of supply is above 28 days, but long-term is below 28 days, the low inventory level fee won't apply. So essentially, Amazon is giving us the ability to kind of determine if we're going to get this fee. And it's because if we've got enough inventory for the long-term historical needs, Amazon's not going to apply the fee if we're too low on the short term, and vice versa. If we didn't have enough inventory for the long term, but we do on the short term, they're also not going to apply the fee. So we've got a few different ways to get out of that. And again, I recommend watching some of my other videos or reading through this policy to get a full breakdown of what that means. For those of you that have been trying to figure out the answer to what I was just discussing of whether it's ASIN related or seller specific, Amazon has put that information into the policy. And we can see here, it's actually midway down the page now. It's the only place that I've seen it. And it's above this question: how will the low inventory level fee affect different product types? For example, seasonal products. So right above this question, it's in this paragraph. It says, the historical days of supply is a seller specific metric, which means that we only consider the seller's inventory units and shipped units in the metric calculation. So this is good news, because as a seller, that's what I care about. That just means that if I am able to get 4 units and send some into Amazon, and whether they sell or don't sell, I'm only getting charged a fee based on my own inventory and my own data. I'm not worried about all the other sellers out there on an ASIN. So this is good news. And they actually make it very easy for us to see this information in our inventory, our manage inventory section in Seller Central. We can see how Amazon is calculating this data and what they recommend that we have to purchase to avoid the fee. Now, the second piece of information that they have added is actually in the FAQ, which is further down the page. If we continue going down this page and scrolling to the FAQ, it says, what happens when my product has no sales for the past 30 or 90 days? So if your product has had no sales in the past 30 or 90 days, that is, your average daily shipped units is 0, then your historical days of supply will be above 28 days, and the product will not be charged the low inventory level fee. So on your FBA inventory page, the historical days of supply metric will be displayed with this symbol, these 2 dashes. And so this is good. The reason that this is good is because that means if for whatever reason, maybe we had an old product in our account that we haven't sold for a while, if we decide to send some more in because now it's profitable again, then we're not going to get charged a fee until Amazon's able to calculate this seller specific metric. What this also means is if we've never sent anything into Amazon and we're testing ASINs like I recommend for replenishable products on Amazon, doing arbitrage or wholesale, if you're testing these products and you're sending in 4 or 5 of them, then Amazon has no basis to apply a fee to your account for those units until they get there and they start selling. Now, if they get there and they start selling, then I'm assuming based off this information, we have 90 days until Amazon can fully calculate whether or not we are hitting this low inventory level fee or not. So if Amazon doesn't have the data for 90 yet, we shouldn't be hit with the fee. That's my assumption. Now, at the very least, we have those 30 days to test the product and see how well it's going to sell and if we need to send more in. So while this isn't a comfortable fee for any Amazon seller, specifically arbitrage or people that keep a low inventory basis across a bunch of ASINs, it's not comfortable, but it does give us some more comfort knowing that it's based on our own inventory, also knowing that we can test products, and also knowing that if we haven't sent something in for 90 days because it wasn't profitable during that time or wasn't in stock, then we can go back and we can send in more units so that we're able to avoid this fee because it's been so long since we've sent anything in. So I'm excited because at least I've got these answers now for sellers that continue to ask me, hey, has this been determined yet, etc. It's been all guesswork. Now we know based on the policy that this is a seller specific metric. And if you're testing products or if you don't have any inventory for the last 90 days, then you can send them in without a low level inventory fee that Amazon will be calculating because there's no data for them to calculate it based on. So hopefully this helps you. Be sure to read the terms of this new fee in the link below in the description. Also, if you're interested in connecting with a community of other sellers on all things Amazon, specifically with this fee level, I recommend joining the My Silent Team Facebook group at bit.ly/MST group. That link is below and in the description. It's completely free. Over 75,000 Facebook members in that group asking questions, answering, helping each other. I've been in it since 2015 and I actually helped lead it and moderate it now. It was an excellent place to be. But if you have any questions at all, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'd love to answer them whenever I get the chance. And I hope that this video helps you and blesses you. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and a blessed rest of your week.